Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. That's right, we're back for another week of our podcast, talking all the latest in sports and entertainment. And I'm Larry Carson, joined as I am each and every week by our co-hosts, Calvin Thomas, Justin B. and Barbara Harris. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
I'm tired.
It's been a week. It's been a night. The things we go through to make sure that we are here for you each and every week, you will be amazed. But we appreciate you all. You know, we came on a little early than normal, but we got a jam-packed show tonight. I mean, I can't even begin to preview everything we're going to be talking about. But I just want to thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to share this live. Let everybody know that we're on tonight, talking all the latest in football. That's right. Tonight is our NFL Midseason Awards. We're going to be talking about giving out some superlatives, you know, the awards that you give out at the end of the year. We try to do a little temperature check in at the middle of the season, see who's tracking on that verge of who should probably win these awards. We're going to go and give all our opinions a little bit later on. But we need to start tonight with the NBA. And I know that might not be, what you mean? This football season. Look, NBA has been kind of damn good. I mean, look, like it's early, but dang, man, I've been excited. And honestly, last year, I don't know, it was something about last season. I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know if it was just the transitions, not too many big time storylines that I was intrigued by. Injuries, I don't know. I know there's some injuries this year as well, but I just feel like this vibe about the NBA season. Maybe it's the new TV deals. Maybe it's Amazon. Maybe it's NBA TNT people going to ESPN. Maybe it's all the shakeups on the broadcast team. But something just feels a little bit fresh about this season. There's some optimism that I haven't had in a while, and I think it's been good. Calvin, overall, what's your thoughts on opening week? How things have been thus far for you?
So overall, I think the viewing aspect of it is a lot better. I don't know if, like you said, the new TV deals, everyone brought that A game start the season, especially with Amazon and just the availability of more games as well. So you have games every night of the week, Monday through Saturday for the most part. And then once football season ends, it'll probably be every day. But when was the last time you had a game on Monday that wasn't on NBA TV and it wasn't with the local announcers? Now you have nationally televised games every week. You have, for the most part, it seems as though superstars are healthier, at least to start the season. Whatever happened at the end of the season with Jason Tatum and Kyrie Irving and things like that, you have superstars healthy. And just, I don't know if the product has been better or it's just that the younger players or VJ Edgecombe has been played well. So it's a lot of tangible things in my opinion. But overall, I agree with you. The first week of the product, Amazon Prime has surprised me. Inside the NBA, just being its normal self on ESPN was a pleasant surprise.
NBA on NBC.
NBA on NBC. Like the first time you heard the classic intro just took me back. Just those vibes. Now, only thing I have a problem with, everyone else likes, these daily, weekly segments with Michael Jordan. Y'all hyped it up like,
don't you worry. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Y'all hyped it up like it was something more than it was, but that's the only thing I got.
We're going to talk about that in a minute. Justin, overall, what are your first thoughts on the whole overall first week? Yeah, you muted.
No, so, you know, the first week has been very entertaining. It's a superstar league, and we see superstars starting to step up. You know, Luka started off very, very hot.
Superstars and went to that.
Giannis has been dominating, but you know, my pick for MVP so far is Victor, and Victor has been. Look, there's a difference in his body type, and it's starting to show. He takes the contact and he finishes now way more fluently than he did before. So that blood clot, you know, might have been a blessing in disguise. No one wants to deal with that health scare, but at the end of the day, he took care of it. His team took care of it. He came back and he was able to put on some weight, some much needed weight. And he did, you know, Victor has a way of working out. It's the resistance bands and all this stuff. Like he really takes care of his body. And shout out to his team for that. and it's definitely showing coming out the gate. I laughed and joked when I said he might average 5 blocks, and I said that, so I brought it down to 3. I should have kept it at 5 because he almost had a triple double in blocks. That's
It was ridiculous.
That's we haven't seen that in quite some time. Like it's going back to Hakeem prime. Maybe even before that with some
early David Robinson.
Facts. Victor might give you a quadruple double. Like that's not for far fetched for him if he get the assist to go with some of the blocks. Like this is a tremendous start. And yeah, so like I said, if you're an NBA fan, we got young talent, younger analysts and things like that. When it comes to the broadcasting team, it's not just the inside the NBA crew. Vince Carter, T Mac, and Melo, they are starting to be entertaining. They're starting to find their groove. And I'm appreciative of it. Like I said, that's 2 of my favorite players that I get to hear prolong throughout the entire season. So yeah, this is the NBA, and shout out to Shea, man. Like the OKC Thunder is not hitting the ground running. So
not missing the beat.
This is great.
Have y'all watched Starting 5?
No.
Who's that?
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. This year is Shea, Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh yeah, when they go behind the joint. Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, James Harden, Kevin Durant. Yeah.
Is that where that soundbite came from, Kevin Durant, about
James
Harden and James Harden and LeBron?
Which one about James?
The one about LeBron being all happy
that they split up the OKC.
Oh yeah. There's another one. There's another one he talks about asking why he wanted to leave Brooklyn. I don't know if y'all saw that one.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
that was about James Harden a little bit too, because I remember James Harden had a stint or something like that. I know what you're talking about, Kevin.
Yeah.
I think the whole first week has been pretty much entertaining. I mean, look, for the most part, especially in the Western Conferences, the teams that we expect to be good, we know that they're going to be good. I mean, it's early. I enjoyed that matchup between Wemby and Zion. Man,
yeah, they were going at each other. They were going at each other.
Honestly, like, man, but you hate to see some of the injuries early on. You know, I think some of it will be, cautious. It's still early in the season, but I agree. Golden State, hey, man, they look strong, man. They look like they could be here for the long haul. I like what Milwaukee's doing. Big win over the Knicks the other night. Philly, man, Maxey?
Look, I want to say this prematurely. The end of next season, best backcourt in the league. If VJ Edgecombe came to play,
he playing.
He came to play. He averaging like 27 as a rookie, and with the 30 whatever he dropped the first night, best backcourt in the league by next year, end of next year. Calling it.
All right, you laid it out. You mean you said that Paulo was going to be, they be kind of trash, but not bad. Been failing on my parlays every night, but yeah, I really think that I've been impressed with Atlanta. Some of their play, not necessarily winning, but just their style of play. I've been watching, winning, but their style of play, and I think it's going to pay off dividends later. I didn't like Porzingis. I don't know what he's doing tonight, but anyway, just talking about from a betting perspective. Another thing that I think is very interesting is the Denver Nuggets.
Got the over in that game. I'm watching it carefully.
The Denver Nuggets, man, it's something, man. Did you see 50-point performance? Like, look.
It was opening night.
Aaron Gordon was second game.
Okay.
Second game, 50 points. But Jamal Murray playing at a top level. Jokic not even the leading scorer. I mean, he just be doing what he got. That team's here for the long haul.
Until he's needed. Like I said,
But the biggest disappointment of the season for me is the big guy in New York. What a pathetic player. What a pathetic no-show of a player. What a pathetic.
This sounds
every
personal.
night.
This sounds personal.
Every night he lets me down. I'm not betting on this guy no more. Go ahead, Justin. I mean, talk about your team. What's your thoughts on the Knicks thus far?
That's a very good segue there, because he's frustrating a lot of guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. A lot of people is getting frustrated from Karl Anthony Towns. That's the person that he's referring to. He's injured, and he doesn't want to. They're not letting him sit out. And that's the problem. He has a quad issue, and he has zero lift. He only had like 2 inches pause to get up with anyway, but he has no lift now. He's stagnant on defense, but he's getting rebounds. Like he's trying. So I'm not mad at him. It's just with Mitchell Robinson being hurt, and who knows how long. We don't even know how long he's hurt. There's no injury report for Mitchell Robinson. He's just out. That's all we get. So we don't have a starting center. They're not starting our backup center. So it's a lot right on Karl Anthony Towns to actually play. He needs to sit out. Josh Hart also needs to sit out. He has a banged up finger and he can't shoot to begin with. So now when you add a messed up finger, his percentage is going to drop even more. JB is doing as much as he can right now, but we are in a transitional state. Mike Brown has incorporated a spread offense. When you watch New York sometimes, unlike the last 3 to 4 years, it's like they actually running little back screens and things like that, and then somebody will pop up wide open for a 3. Like, that is new, and it's been refreshing on that front. And a lot of people are getting the playing time as they should. So Mike Brown is doing the things that's needed. It's just, I think the last thing that he needs to do is just sit out some of our guys and just let them heal so that they can actually perform better. But yes, until that time comes, do not bet on Karl Anthony Towns whatsoever.
Wasn't that the knock on Tibbs that he ran people into the ground? He didn't keep his team fresh. What's the difference here?
They ain't got no other big men besides him. He feels like he got to play.
It's necessity.
It's necessity right now, but lose a couple of games, we'll be okay. We don't necessarily have to have the top 3-4 seeds. We're good enough to be on the lower end and still pull up some upsets along the way to get to the championship. So and it's early, man. We're talking about the first 10 games of the season, man. Let's get some of these guys rested and let's play ball afterwards. But
do you know what is wrong with Mitchell Robinson?
I think what his injury is? This is lower. I think, I don't want to say ankle or anything like that. It's definitely his lower body. There's no timeline on it. I don't know.
Did he play in the preseason?
He did. He played. So it might be. I don't know. I don't want to speculate and say it's a Trayvon Diggs kind of an injury, but it's something, and we're not privy to it right now.
Okay. Anyway, that was just a couple things. Calvin, talk to us about your Lakers, man. I mean, hey, no Luka, no problem. What's going on?
No Luka, Austin Reeves balling. Look, the Lakers are they're right around when they're playing okay. Luka's hurt, but Austin Reeves is playing well. But you still have no interior presence. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about Braun and his antics at the end of the bench. Can we all just agree to say he does not want to be there for one reason or another? And the reason is they didn't give him an extension. He's not the main focus. It's time to move on. Now,
what's his antics? What did he do?
Well, they're supposed like he was uninterested opening night, and it's continued. He's starting to come around. He's been pushed out even further. He's going to be out towards the end of November now, so it's roughly like 4 or 5 weeks from the start of the season. So you don't want to be there, and I think it's evident at this point because they didn't acquiesce to his extension this year. It's starting to get tiresome because, like, from a Lakers fan perspective, you talked about passing the baton to AD all these years. It never happened. Now you have an opportunity to pass it to who I think could end up being a better player than AD. Why aren't you excited about this? Why isn't this becoming a focal point? Why isn't this something that's being talked about? And obviously, you want to play beyond this year, which, be it right or wrong, I can't say that about anyone's career because once you retire, that's it. It's just when the focus is about off the court more than on the court. When you have Austin Reeves dropping 40 and 30 in back-to-back games, and we're still talking about this, it's starting to become a distraction. But
yeah, hey. We'll see. I know Braun always going to get the headlines, but it is what it is. We got to talk about the lead story, and I meant to lead off with that. I got a little excited talking about the actual games on the court, which is why I prefer to talk about on a normal basis. But we got to talk about the big story of the week. Broke last week. The sports gambling. It's twofold. I'm sure if you're not living under a rock, You heard about the details about it right now. So there's two things going on at play right now. There were poker games that were taking place in different areas. We heard about Gilbert Arenas. He got in trouble for a situation which is totally separate from this, but in many ways kind of similar. But Gilbert tried to say that he just was the owner of the property where the games were going on. Well, in this case, Chauncey Billups was actually like sending out invitations and getting people to come to the games. A couple names that were dropped were like Kevin Garnett, I think Ty Lue, or was it like some other coaches, because he was on the coaching the Clippers bench coaching with Ty Lue, different people like that. They were coming. He had famous people coming to these games, and either was him, either he knew about it or he didn't know about it. The mafia was behind this, and they had see-through cards, glasses that could see like X-ray vision through the cards. They was fixing the roulette wheels, so they would be going on the numbers today. Man, I need a fun. What? Anyway, like man, all the stuff you always have heard about, being nervous about at like shady casinos and stuff like that. About they getting you for, they already know what you got. Apparently, those things were at play in this situation. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect, and is probably more prevalent, and if you telling me that Damon Jones is the only person, or Terry Rozier is the only person who is playing with these parlays and playing prop bets and shaving and knowing who's playing and who's not, putting money on people who they know got a little who's not at full strength or might have a limit restriction that's not reported. All that stuff has probably been happening forever. But anyway, that's the second part of it. And in some kind of way, because Chauncey is a coach, he has control over the players' minutes in Portland. So people say he was pulling guys when he didn't need to. He was putting in guys who, and giving them maybe their over-under was a little low for that night or high, so he would restrict their minutes. All types of allegations. The FBI is all over this. Just a lot to it. Go read it. It's a lot. Very in-depth investigation. There's probably going to be more coming out about it. Overall, Calvin, when you first heard about this, what was your thoughts? And after reading into it a little bit more, what's your current thoughts on this whole situation?
The Terry Rozier stuff doesn't surprise me, because when you go back to that game specifically,
they had a specific game.
They had a specific game, and you can tell. And even shortly thereafter, there was like rumors on the internet and on Twitter about how much money was made on the unders for his prop. Nothing saying that it was deliberate, but just talking about how many bettors bet the under for all his props and parlay those together. And this was in Charlotte. He wasn't even in Miami at that point. He was in Charlotte at that time. So that really doesn't surprise me. We also heard the same thing concerning Malik Beasley in Detroit, and there was video of him. He was exonerated by the league, but so was Terry Rozier, and this was with him trying to score a bucket with like 2 seconds left in the game. You saw that video, and was kind of like, that's awkward as well. So like you said, but that stuff with the players can easily be manipulated because of their direct involvement in the game. The stuff with Chauncey is a whole different level, because you're taking people that you built lifelong relationships with and basically stealing money from them. Because going into that, whatever money that they have that they're going to gamble with, they're going to lose. And I think as a friend, as someone who's been in the league for 20, 25 years, has been around guys like this, and they trust you for these games, that has to hurt even more, in my opinion, than what Terry Rozier did. What Terry Rozier did was try to steal money from the books. Chauncey stole money from his friends. Yeah. Point blank, period. And I think that is even worse when you look at it from that aspect. Being involved with the mafia and the mob, allegedly, and how he got involved with them. Still ain't seen no picture of none of them. Just another topic. But still have but just how he got involved in that, this goes back to Dame's first time there as well. It's just a lot of layers to it. But when you actually read the indictment and see some of the players that were there, like you mentioned, Kevin Garnett, I think Paul Pierce was one of them. There were some football players involved as well. Just to see how deep this went and how many times he had to do this. Like, what happened initially to have you get in this situation? Like, what were you gambling initially? I never thought Chauncey would be an individual hurting for money. So it's just the layers to it, and it'll eventually come out. But it's just surprising to see it from a coach in that aspect, stealing from your friends. What Terry Rozier did, what Malik Beasley was accused of doing, and then later found innocent or didn't find any evidence by the league. That stuff can happen regularly because you have these sports leagues involved with gambling head on now. You have DraftKings that's directly that has commercial with NFL, and then
ESPN Bet.
You have ESPN Bet. You have these advertisements on the floor as you're watching the game. You can make bets live and watch the game on your phone now. They are directly tied in. It has to be a way where you can separate them just a little bit. But
how?
The deeper and deeper involved, the more in bed you get with them, the more money involved. You're gonna continue to see this type of stuff.
Yep. Justin, your thoughts?
So we're not going to act like the mafia wasn't involved in the situation. And when you look at, like, it was just a Netflix special that just came on about the mafia in Philadelphia.
I watched it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, yo, like, that's the type of noise you bring it into this to the day. Nah, man, we don't know how far this thing goes. We don't know how who's connected, who's involved, who's going to snitch and who's not. Like Chauncey is just going to be like the right now fall guy. Who knows what Chauncey might do? Who knows who Chauncey might give up? So on and so forth. This is some effed up stuff, man. And Calvin brought on the morality side of it with him and his partners. Man, I'm talking about the sinister side of it, the gangster side of this. Like people could get got from this. Like, this is not a joking situation when it comes to having one of the last things that the mafia has a hold on, which is probably illegal gambling. And which we know is starting to, you just mentioned how many people got gambling sites. So that's starting to be a dwindling franchise for them. So they might hold on even tighter when it comes to that. Like, nah, man, I'm not fooling with that. So he betted something. He got involved some kind of way, whereas though he probably had to pay off some debts. In order to pay off debts that's not coming out of his pockets, was to get other people to lose money in a sense, right? So it's messed up all around. Terry Rozier was just doing what the new hustle, the new NBA hustle with. Shout out to Michael Porter Jr.'s brother.
Jonte.
All it is just, instead of giving my man's the money out my pocket, I'm gonna tell you, hey man, I got flu-like symptoms, my guy. Go in on bet the under. And let me get up out of here.
5 minutes in.
And that's so you can get your money. And then Terry messed up by betting on his damn self. Putting large amounts on the books for that.
That's the problem.
Just being idiotic.
Because anybody else who's smart, you got a boy or a cousin or somebody, you know what I mean, who will do your bets for you. You don't think somebody got a bet guy? Come on, man.
All of them do. Well, most of them. I ain't gonna say all of them, but that's just what it is. They're gonna wrap this thing up. It makes Adam Silver look kind of bad because apparently all this was on the table before some kind of way. And Adam said it was pretty much no wrongdoing.
It don't. They'll let you know that they handle stuff in house. That's all they'll let you know.
And the feds came back and said,
Michael Jordan,
we're gonna have to lock some people up.
Michael Jordan.
So it is what it is.
Charles Barkley. You notice when they was talking about this on Inside the NBA, Chuck was like real. Shaq went hard at it. Chuck was like, "Hey man, you think
I know people? I still know people.
I've been there.
Whole stories about." He's lost 200,000 in one night. Gambling and stuff like that. Like, he's an avid gambler. You know what I mean? So
that's why he always talking about his bet. He retired from Inside NBA every year. Then that check came. Like, you know what?
He always talking about. I took the under. I took. I got 2.5. He always talk about it. Plus 220. I'm laying it down. Like, come on, man. That is part of the culture. But like you say, the mob, they already was against legalizing sports gambling to begin with.
Because you had
so in a way, if they could undercut this and get this thing, because I saw Mike Florio put something about the next move is they're going to take away player prop bets, and each state's going to start outlawing it, where you can bet the games like who wins, but you can't bet on individual props or statistics. And that would be real damage because that's how a lot of people make their money. You know what I mean? So anyway, we'll continue to monitor this situation, but it's just, man, it's crazy, man.
Certain stuff doesn't need to be like certain stuff doesn't need to be there. Like at this point, ain't too. Well, I bet one overnight, but like I'm not betting Russell Westbrook's over under too much. Like why? Like it should only be like top 6-7 people. But
bruh, I be seeing certain people's parlay tickets that be hitting. They take the most obscure stuff and they could put a ticket together, maybe like 4 or 5 different obscure things, and put like $500 on it, and they be making like thousands of dollars, man. So they not going to take it away because that's what people be betting. Like, oh, I only need to get 3 rebounds. Like, who would bet on that? Like, come on, man. Like, anyway, but it be hitting. It be hitting. And they must know something. You know what I mean? Anyway, let's talk about NBC Michael Jordan. He was on the other night, last night, and I caught him. He has a little segment, and they talked about load management, him and Mike Tirico. And he said, you play basketball 2.5 hours a night. What else you got to do? I mean, when he put it so simple, you know what I mean? Like, it does make sense what he's saying and why he's vehemently against it. He played almost every game his entire career. He feel like what's different about this generation? Why can't you play basketball? You pay millions of dollars to play every day. Play the game. I mean, it's a game. People out here working, digging ditches. People out here doing real hard labor, and we playing basketball. Justin, I'm coming to you first. What was your thoughts on Mike's comments during his sit-down interview as regards to load management?
Mike is Mike, and finally, it's someone speaking where you can't say, "Oh, he don't know what he's talking about."
Yep.
You can't say, "Oh, well, what did that do?" Look how his career could have ended up if he did the opposite. No, he played 80+ games. 11 years or something crazy like that. Won championships, won all the awards you can think of. Like he's MJ. So everybody else is falling short when it comes to taxing your body to that degree, and then have the skill set to go with it. So when Mike speaks, I can't argue. Like he's him, right? So when the interesting thing I think was better was the commentating afterwards. When it came to Melo, T-Mac and Vince. and I done heard T-Mac say this over and over again. And, I think, y'all know T-Mac, like my guy, but I'm a little tired of hearing him talk sometimes. It's getting to that point. But he says, like, and he's coming from if I had proper load management, then my prime could be extended. Okay. I'm not going to say you wrong, but okay. All right. Melo is the most recent player. What he said, yeah, I can see it in a certain way. And Vince was like, I played 20+ years, and in the early on, it wasn't no load management. You had to play, because 2 of them came out in the 90s. So all that is good. But then when you hear people like, I'm gonna say Gilbert Arenas, and he says it, and other people on the show vouch for him. And some current NBA players echo this statement. Sometimes they tell you, "Hey, you're sending out this game. You're going to set out this game," and you can say
it's not their choice. Yeah,
right. And you can say, "No, I want to play." And to a certain degree, certain stars can probably get away with that. But if they're telling you, "Yo, you're sitting down this game," you're sitting down this game. It's like that's the team telling you that. So, but that doesn't get reported as much. You don't hear that side of it. So it's a lot going on with load management. It's just to the point where, like I said, it's MJ, man, but he ain't believing him. John Stockton didn't believe it. Karl Malone didn't believe. Like, these are dudes that went to the finals multiple times. So I don't know, man.
What's your thoughts, Calvin?
Yeah, look, I do think you need to put blame on the analytics guys as well. Because like just said, those are the guys that say it's your 3rd game in 4 nights. It's your 3rd game in 5th night, so we're not going to play tonight. And and in their mind, it's games played versus minutes played each game. So the guys that have analytics that look at the numbers, they're the ones that have an input as well. They're the ones that relay that message to the GM, to the coach, to say, hey, as well. But you also have players who decide to go manage for whatever reason as well. So I think both parties deserve some blame. And I will say, when MJ decided to go with manager, he retired. So there's a difference. He said he got tired in 93 or 94. You know, we say it was gambling. Well, I say it was gambling partly as well. But when he got tired, he retired. So let's add that in as well. Let's say you played 15 seasons out of 19 years because you retired in between because you retired as well. Let's add everything into. Let's talk about the whole scenario. Let's just not pick and choose what you want to say because you got 20 questions you want to answer over the course of 20 weeks with Mike Tirico. Like it's just like I'm supposed to be in studio or something. Like the whole segment's starting to piss me off already.
I like that, man. I like hearing from MJ.
I want to hear from him. It's fine, but you made it seem like you were going to be in studio. You made it seem like you were going to provide analysis live. This looks like it was recorded, and it's the same. It looks like it was recorded all in one sit down, and you're going to play a little piece of it every week. That's not what you made it seem like.
Well, they might do a couple like a week at a time. Like they might do.
He's going to have eight joints, and then they're going to spread every interview for 10 games. Every 10 games, you're gonna get that other part. That's
fine, ridiculous. but you made it seem like he would be providing analysis. Like that's what I thought when
they said special analysis from Michael Jordan. That's what they said.
Think it was going to be outside of the Last Dance. We never even get this from Jordan. So for me, I think it's
but the only problem I have is it's so controlled. We know Mike has so much control over it. Like he knew the questions. He's prepared to stay. It's been chopped up so much. But I just want to see you talk organically about the game. If you don't like something somebody does, say it. I want to hear your thoughts on the game. I don't want to hear your pre-planned, edited thoughts every week, and you make it seem like you're asking questions, but they're not alive about what's going on right now. Like talk about Wemby. Talk about what he did opening night. I want to hear what your thoughts on that. Not about man. We talk about 5 years. So that's just me.
Maybe part of it is because he's a team owner too. So I mean,
he doesn't. He's the minority owner. So I don't think that matters as much.
He is. You're right. We'll be checking in when Mike got something interesting to say because he's still MJ. He's still
next Tuesday,
the greatest of all time in my opinion.
The next question will be answered.
You're an MJ hater. Just say you hate the man.
He answered one question a week. I wanted analysis about the game. Like I wanted you to talk. I know you ain't gonna talk about certain stuff. Let's talk about Wemby. Talk about how VJ Escone came in and just on fire. Talk about who you think gonna win the league. You mentioned
VJ Escone one more time.
Who do you think is gonna win the title this year? We don't even know that. We know that from everybody else but Mike. Like, why are we asking you about load management for this? Has been asked like 10 years ago. Like, all right.
You hate Mike so much. It's ridiculous. Let's get this on.
I don't hate Mike. I hate this. Y'all hype this up and he's asking a question a week.
Oh God. Anyway, let's get into week 8, talking about everything that took place last week. So we're getting to it, baby. Midseason is here. I thought this was a pretty boring week, to be honest with you. I mean, it was a couple good games, but nothing really. I mean, not nothing, but of all the season thus far, this was to me the least entertained I was all season. Even the 4 o'clock window, that 4 o'clock window was brutal, man. I was like, golly. But let's quickly go through some of these. So, Baltimore Ravens got a big victory with Tyler Huntley as the quarterback unexpectedly. When we recorded this show last week, we had no idea that Huntley would be the quarterback. We thought Lamar Jackson was on pace. There was some controversy there about him being reported as a full participant in practice. Come find out he was limited. It was all this back and forth on Saturday about that. Then all of a sudden we just got the word that, oh no, Huntley's going to be playing. What? Like that was like a real whiplash one because everybody was just assuming after the bye, Lamar will be back. I'd heard from some people that it was a Lamar decision not to play. That's just some stuff I've heard. As far as the training team, they said he's ready to go. But it was a decision on Lamar's part. He didn't feel comfortable playing 2 games within 4 days or whatever because they had the Thursday night game. So whatever. Tyler Huntley got the win. Great job. But if we'd lost that game and the season was over because of that decision, we would have a lot more to say about that in these Baltimore street talks right now. But it didn't happen. Huntley went out there, played just well enough. Derrick Henry, 70 yards on the ground. The defense, once again, put together another good performance, back-to-back good performances. You got Roquan Smith back, Kyle Hamilton playing back in his natural position after you made the trade, getting Owe out there to the Chargers, bringing in a safety, allowing Kyle Hamilton to get into his regular position where he was playing up near the line of scrimmage, was able to make some plays in the backfield. I thought they played an overall pretty good game. Nothing great. Offense still had left a lot to be desired in some spots. But overall, with Huntley being a backup on short notice, I thought he was really good. It makes me question, had they put Huntley in there instead of the former Dallas Cowboys backup, then who knows? Could we have stole that Rams game had he started that game from the beginning? Defense did that part, just couldn't punch it in. Remember, that was the game where we got stopped at the goal line multiple times and couldn't score. Had no issue with Huntley for the most part because of the mobility he provided. But overall, I thought it was a good performance. Not great, but good. And hopefully they'll get some momentum going into Thursday night. Calvin, your thoughts?
I like to talk about, for one thing, but just aside from Huntley, the team was healthy. Lamar Jackson was the only person that ended up missing the game outside of Matabike that was original starter on week 1. You also had the return of
Pat Ricard back.
You also had the return of Pat Ricard, which vastly helped the run game and vastly helped the pass protection as well. So I'll give credit to Huntley, but I'm gonna give credit to Pat Ricard. I'm gonna give credit to Roquan coming back. I'm gonna give credit to Kyle Hamilton, had a phenomenal game as well. I think that the game may have been closer, but there was also a number of missteps from Chicago. The punt that goes out the 1 yard line, then they have to repunt again. The interception, not scoring a touchdown on the first drive, and they only end up getting 3. There were a couple of miscues from Chicago as well that could have made this game a little bit tighter score-wise. But I do think just because of you had those added, you get the breaks going your way, you have everyone coming back healthy. That played a big part in this win as well. And the fact that you played the game, you won the game, and everyone came out healthy to play 4 days later as well is great as well. And you get your starting quarterback back as well. So everything lined up right for the Baltimore Ravens this game. So take the win, be happy, go down to Miami and try to do it again on Thursday.
How's Stanley doing?
I haven't heard anything. And when I looked at you can't really go by the injury report this week because they don't practice because they play on a short week. But so it's more of an estimation, but he was limited early in the week or yesterday on Tuesday. So it looks like he's in line to play as well because he even came back after the injury.
He did come back, yeah.
Yeah. So
okay. Justin, your thoughts?
I'm just gonna pretty much y'all said everything statistically. This is just the game that y'all, nailed it in. So shout out to the Ravens for getting the victory. And actually look like a football team, and that's no disrespect. It kind of highlights how you guys weren't looking like a football team for a few weeks there. And I think this goes on EDC. This goes on your general manager because I guess you try to do something with Cooper Rush. And no, you don't. I don't think you should have let someone like a locker room guy at that and a Pro Bowler on your team, and that's Huntley, go somewhere else. Some backups need to stay backups and stay on that particular team. Maybe Tyler wanted to go other places. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but that's why when you have a quote unquote Super Bowl team ready, probably should have kept the guy that the team actually believes in. And I think they play differently. It's hard to tell, but I think the emotions were there a little bit more when he plays versus when Cooper. You could just tell the vibe sometimes. And like you said, I do agree that y'all win up maybe 1 or 2 more games had he been on the team the whole entire time. So it's like, all right, we lost Lamar, but all right, come on, Tyler, let's do this thing. And then it's a whole different outcome when it comes to that. But just to survive without Lamar, when you have your pieces back defensively, to hold a team to under 17 points, that is significant. Don't matter if it was close. The final score is the final score. You held them under 17 points, and I think that's the thing. 17-21. If you can hold a team within that range or underneath that range, you pretty much should win games. You should win ball games. Yes, you want perfect shutouts, but that's unrealistic. So to hold a team to that putrid, really of a performance, Caleb Williams, he looked lost at times out there. If it wasn't for a doomsday, I mean, shoot, who knows what type of stat performance he would have had. So I think y'all, you did very well. You did what you're supposed to do. You beat a team that you was kind of etched in to beat. And Chicago, although they was on a winning streak, I don't think no one has any faith in Chicago. So that's just where they're at. So they got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. So, shout out to the Ravens for getting the victory.
I just think if people want to really look at this game, like I said, because Lamar didn't play, we know what Lamar was before the injury. Again, that Kansas City game was not going well before, so let's not act like he played great in all those games. He looked bad in that game. So last time we saw Lamar Jackson, he did not look good. So I'm not just expecting it on Thursday night. We'll talk about that later. That he's just going to jump out there and look sensational right off the break. I want him to, but the key is the defense. The defense is showing improvements. And I've been very hard on defensive coordinator Patrick Queen. I've been very Zach on. I get them so confused. I've been very hard on Zach Orr, and I give him credit. He made adjustments. EDC helped him out a little bit, getting Kyle Hamilton back. I think that the pass rush was a little better on Sunday. Not great, a little better because Caleb can move. So you were playing against a mobile quarterback. You're going up against a quarterback that gets the ball out of his hands very quickly on Thursday night. So that will be interesting. And he throws interceptions. You just got to be ready to catch them. So we'll see how that goes. But shout out to the big interception made. Also, running it back almost into the red zone. That was a huge play by Nate Wiggins. I think that was a big spark to really help turn this game on his head. But looking at this schedule, look, you got a big game on Thursday night. You know what I mean? That's a huge one against the Jets. I know against the Dolphins. They're not a good team on paper, but they just got a big victory the other day. They might have a little momentum. And we've seen what the Ravens have done going down to Miami in the past when a team that you thought they should go down there and beat. Then you got the Vikings, who have J.J. McCarthy. They're in a little bit of turmoil. The Browns with their quarterback situation.
No backup quarterback there too.
The Jets, even though they pulled off a miracle this past Sunday, they have been nothing to really
that was God-given.
About. 100%. The Bengals, Joe Flacco looked like he might be dealing with a major issue to his throwing arm. So, know about that. The Steelers probably your next biggest test outside of that Vikings team. They can be kind of tricky. Again, they could run off a good little run here if they actually
you can get over 500 by the time you get to the Bengals.
If you execute
the second Bengals, because the first one is Joe.
Yeah, but if you think about this, right now they're sitting at 2-5. You can after tomorrow you could be 3-5.
Yeah, 6-5 before you play the Bengals.
Yeah, that's a winning record. You know what I mean?
It's a winning record. Yeah.
I don't think the Bengals with Joe isn't the same with the Bengals with Joe Flacco is not the same with Joe Burrow. So I think
that's what you meant by that.
Oh, you think Burrow will be back by then?
No, he's not supposed to. He's supposed to be back the second game, the Week 15 game. Yeah,
but I was just going to the next quote unquote game that you might have issues with.
The
Bengals, even with Flacco,
they're in a lot of trouble.
The Bengals could take get some W. So the fact that you can be over 500 by the Bengals, that is highly impressive. I'll say the least. Coming from where you came from,
it's optimistic. Again, you're looking at where you're coming from and where you're at now. I think is a pretty good turnaround. But at the end of the day, you still got to execute because we can all look at everything on paper. Look like, oh yeah, I should win that.
And then lose
but
tomorrow.
Again, at the beginning of this, exactly. As I said, the Ravens traditionally have been the team that will drop a game or two to teams that on paper they should not have problems with. I'm circling that Minnesota game. In Minnesota, I'm circling that game. Don't be shocked. I'm circling look.
Who's that quarterback?
J.J. McCarthy. Of course, we should beat them.
Back?
Apparently, playing this Sunday.
Well, I think he had a choice. Carson Wentz hurt.
That's what I'm saying. So he says he's going to be back. He's going to play this Sunday. I'm just saying. Yes, we should beat a lot of these teams, but that's the point. When we look at this schedule, a lot of the times we say the Ravens should win that, But objectively, you look at the start of this season, the Bills division winner, The Browns, we beat them. We should have beat them. The Lions division winner, Chiefs division winner, Texans division winner, Rams division winner. Like, it was a tough road. Like, no way you can look at that schedule and say that those teams were just going to be walkthroughs. Now, you look at the rest of the schedule, it evens out. You know what I mean? Like, so I would rather start slow and get momentum than thinking you're really good and then you go into a nosedive. So let's see if the team is able to pull that way out. Yeah, you don't want to limp into the playoffs, and you want to test yourself. By the time you get to the Patriots and Packers games, you should know what type of team you got. You should know full-fledged what team you got. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. Keeping an eye on that. Any final thoughts before we move on, Calvin, from the Ravens?
Look, I'm more optimistic than you are. I mean, I think.
Oh. I'm not optimistic. I'm just being real about looking at it for what it is.
What I was going to say was I'm more optimistic because I don't think the Vikings will pose as big of a challenge.
Good. I hope not.
Previously. So, especially, I think Carson Wentz was playing better than J.J. McCarthy. He's out. So now you have J.J. McCarthy going to be on his, fourth start in his career? Something like that?
I 100% hope so. I hope you're right.
You know, I mean, at that point, I think the Browns and the Jets kind of packed it in and started planning for quarterbacks next year. That may even be Shador's first game, you know, in 2-3 weeks, depending on what happens doing Dylan Gabriel, you know, and who knows what happens with the Bengals and their record and the Steelers of their record. Because, you know, once we see how this whole division is playing, once you play better teams, not including the Jets, that was just a poor defensive performance. But look, I think they got a shot. Like you said, you turn the corner at 6-5, and then even at that point, you still have 5 or 4 division games, 2 against the Bengals, 2 against the Steelers. And at that point, you know, all you got to do is beat them. You probably win the division.
We'll see. We'll continue to monitor it. Let's keep it moving. Big game from this past Sunday. The Dallas Cowboys went to Denver and got smoked. The Cowboys went down 44-24. That defense was absolutely pathetic. The Broncos could do anything they wanted to. Anything they wanted to try, they just like, oh, let's try this play. Throw this one out there. I think Sean Payton was laughing at y'all, to be honest with you. It was embarrassing. It was quite embarrassing. And only one of us picked the Cowboys last week, and that was Calvin. Tell us about it.
This is what happens when you try to have faith. This is what happens when you know, you think the team is playing well and they're on the incline. They do some stuff like this and score 24. Look, they got those 24 points by faith because Denver's defense did whatever they wanted to. They had the ball a couple times. They made them look good. Mm-hmm. They had the ball a couple times in the red zone, and not only did they not score, they didn't get a field goal off. You have arguably the best kicker in the league. So, once again, this is Cincinnati West. They have this offense. They couldn't even score points, but they made Bo Nix like he was Patrick Mahomes on Sunday. They made that running game look phenomenal. They did whatever they wanted to do offensively. It seemed like everyone in skill position players touched the ball. It seemed like almost everyone in skill position players had a touchdown. Bo Nix was just had time back there.
They made J.K. Dobbins look like he did back when he was early in his career with the Ravens, man. I ain't seen J.K. I think that was the first 100-yard game he's had since like week 1. Sensational.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati West, I don't think that can apply any longer because Cincinnati would have scored a lot more. Jake Ferguson didn't even have a catch. I had him on my parlay.
I was getting ready to say that was you. That was you having on your parlay. That's on you. That's on you. This wasn't last week.
Yeah, man. It's just I mean, we honestly let's put it out there. We was trying to see how Dallas was going to respond if Dak has a bad game, right? Like how bad can they actually look if Dak doesn't play well? And he looked like crap. So we finally got the answer to that question. Shout out to Dak for playing well up until this point. Clearly, you need to maintain that in order for you to even have a chance because your team looks unlike itself when you're having a 2-interception type of a night. So there's not much to be said extra after this. Denver put foot to asses, and it is what it is at that point. There's nothing else to be said. They dominated. Shout out to RJ Harvey. 3 touchdowns. Great job for anyone that started him.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. Yeah, because I needed 1 touchdown by J.K. Dobbins, and they refused to give him the ball at the goal line. But here we go. Tampa Bay defeated the New Orleans Saints 23-3. Got the quarterback bench down there in New Orleans, Spencer Rattler. look, he wasn't terrible. He was not terrible before this game, but he looked trash on Sunday because I think they just wanted to see what Show looked like. He didn't look no better. He was trash too. Um, just I didn't think Tampa Bay's offense was sensational or anything like that. It was just a defensive beatdown. I mean, New Orleans did nothing. Nothing. Pathetic.
No
Justin, your thoughts?
Well, going down to the Peter report and all these other things, it's offense, this offense, that. We need to do better and all these other things, and all that's true. We need our players to get a little bit more healthier. We need to establish we need Bucky. I'm just gonna call it what it is. We need Bucky. Although Bucky wasn't having a great season, he's the type of person that take a 2-yard play and make it to a 15-yard or 20-yarder. And we need that right now offensively. Even Emeka, I think the game's starting to catch up with him just a little bit. He's not having the same splash because he's on everybody's defensive report. And he's on everybody's report. So it's not Mike Evans, it's not Chris Godwin, it's him. So we know we're going to play just a little bit better offensively. But defensively, yeah. We put boost asses this time. It's not crazy. It is. Well, shout out to Anthony Nelson. Anthony Nelson is like 6'7", bro. He's like he's a tall
I thought he was
dude.
a tight end or something like.
And he caught the ball and shout out to, I think that was Rattler that tried to.
Oh my God! He treated him like a little punk.
Oh, that was fun. That was, that's just, that was the highlight. So we just played well defensively. The Saints are the Saints, man. They just had nothing for us, and sometimes you just need some ass whoopers along the way. That's just one of them. So
yeah, they tried. Calvin, any thoughts before we move on?
Y'all bye weeks coming at the perfect time. Hopefully y'all get healthy. I think the week after y'all play, I know y'all play New England. I don't know where it is, but so
we play the Patriots for sure. Yeah, that's gonna be one of those testing games.
That's a good one. All right, next up. Probably the upset of the century at this point. Like, no, not the century. But look, Joe Flacco was cruising. My man was throwing that ball, throwing touchdowns. They was every time I looked on the ticker, they scored again. I'm like, okay, Cincinnati about to put these guys away. All of a sudden in the fourth quarter, just like we just saw the week prior with Denver and the Giants, the Jets just came chugging back. Like, they scored again. Okay. Now, of course, only reason why I'm watching that because I got the running back on my fantasy team and I had him on my parlay. I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Oh, they scored again. Oh, then he throws the game winner. What? So I'm thinking, okay, Joe about to lead him down, get in field goal range, pick the game winner. Cincinnati gonna win this game. Joe just started throwing ducks to the ground, and they ran the ball one time, and
Joe went back to that old Joe.
Like, what are we doing here? Like, the play calling was terrible. He didn't even throw it to Chase one time on that drive. No Higgins, just throwing it to random guys. Like, and then we find out there's something wrong with his arm. So maybe he just didn't have the ability to throw at that point. He was just doing the best he could just to go out there. But that's a terrible loss, given the Jets their only win of the season. But shout out to Justin Fields. Justin Fields kept playing. He played with great heart, great determination. He didn't give up. He didn't quit. I really, really was happy after the comments from that owner, Woody Johnson, last week, talking about basically criticizing Justin Fields, talking about his owner quarterback. He goes out there, not to say he was all him, because clearly the Bengals defense helped, but they went out there and they got the job done. Shout out to the Jets, man, getting their first win of the season. Justin, your thoughts?
Breece Hall.
Breece was great.
He needs to go. Get up out of there, man. Just don't play no more. Just don't play no more. Just get up out of there. But when it comes to this game, I think T. Higgins only got like one ball. Like, I don't understand the dynamics sometimes, but first and foremost, Nick Mangold, he had passed away. Very unfortunately, very untimely. And anytime somebody passes away, I mean, the team's going to get a boost. You starting to get people that show up out of nowhere, things like that. They're probably getting phone calls and all this other stuff. And that, where was this performance any other time? So you tell me what was the difference in this game, although it was Cincinnati's defense, but they haven't been giving up 39 points every week or nothing like that. So there was definitely some God-given boost to everyone's statistical stats this particular game, and I think that's what happened, man. I think they played inspired, and they gave one more shot for Justin. Tyrod said, "I'm out of here. Y'all not gonna hurt me." Yeah, man. I don't have too much to say. That's what I believe. I believe they got some type of inspiration. And they play lights out, man. Shout out to Aaron Glenn getting his victory. I know Larry don't like Aaron Glenn. But at the end of the day, he got his victory, and he might not get another one. So I think how many wins the Raiders got? I think they got like 1 win, 2.
I thought they got.
We'll see who gets
2.
They got 2. Okay, shout out to the Jets. Still got the number 1 overall draft pick. No one, no more.
Calvin, quick thoughts.
Look, I'm glad Justin Fields was able to kind of shut Woody Johnson up. Wish he would have been more vocal about it, but I understand. But good win for the Jets. I know all Ravens fans were happy about this, but very, very not surprising based off that Bengals defense.
100%. Next up, the Philadelphia Eagles got a victory on Sunday. Saquon Barkley came to play. Congrats to him. Jalen, keep on rolling. You know what I mean? Things happen. A.J. Brown didn't play. But, man, sad story in the game. Cam Scatterboo with a terrible injury, man. If you saw it, one of the most graphic injuries, one of those ones that he's like, please don't show the replay, but show it so I can see it again. And it was just bad, man. And his whole ankle just gone. Like, who knows how long that recovery time will be. But the game was in hand when that happened, so it's not like they were going to win. But to lose Napers and now Scatterboo, this team, man, snake bitten, man. But anyway, the Eagles, on the other hand, they got the running game going. They were scoring big points, and they looked like a cohesive unit. They looked like they were out there playing great team football. Oh man, everything was just clicking on all cylinders. And hold up, AJ Brown wasn't playing. Oh, AJ didn't play Sunday. So, okay. Hey, Calvin, your thoughts on Eagles Giants?
Like you said, that Cam Scatterboo injury was terrible. I didn't even realize they said that he fractured. I guess he fractured his fibula, but it broke the skin, so he had to have surgery right away. So that made it even worse. But he had surgery already, so I'm glad he was able to kind of get that done quickly. This was a game where Philadelphia came out because they just wanted to exact revenge based on what happened in New York last month. So I think they were the healthier team. They were the better team, even though they were the better team last month. But they were more focused. And like you said, the running game got going, which made everyone's life easier to where A.J. Brown didn't even know he wasn't out there. But obviously, he's still a big part of that offense. And obviously, they still need him to go far into the playoffs. But it's a good win for Philadelphia.
Justin, your thoughts?
Just want to make that known.
Well, AJ did his damage pause last week when he's shown and the whole team showed that they can actually pass the ball. Once Jalen has a accurate performance, now you got to go back and change some things defensively and things like that. Which what happens? It opened everything up for Saquon, and then now you have Saquon dominating the game. So now you got defenses not knowing what to 100% game plan for, and that's what you want. This is the Philadelphia Eagles that we were waiting for the entire season, and I think it's all because of AJ. Really, I think AJ is the reason for this. Had he not said anything, had he not voiced his opinion saying that we need to pass the ball and have an effective passing game the previous week, then guess what happens? You have to prepare for that because Jalen took advantage of it finally, and now they scored 38 points because Saquon went off. This is what you have. You have defenses on their heels, and now Jalen can pick apart certain defenses, and Saquon can do the exact same thing. This is the key to that. So really, they should be thanking AJ Brown if anything. Because
we have so much to cover tonight, I will not belabor it. Let's move on. The Pittsburgh Steelers were defeated. I want to talk about much more. Like we will be here at 12 o'clock if y'all let me go. But I'm just gonna keep it moving. I got a schedule. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 35-25. This was Aaron Rodgers. Probably the worst uniforms I've ever seen in my life.
They were ugly.
Like Like what? Like remember they used to wear them like jailbird uniforms in
like a
Pittsburgh
bumblebee
too?
or
Like
something.
bumblebee ones.
Yeah,
like this got worse.
These are worse. They like a wow on, and I'm like, this like
what is that?
or something. Yeah,
like what is the like a Ninja Turtles? Like what is that?
Clue.
Like anyway, Green Bay looked good. Green Bay looked good. Micah looked good. Micah pretty much took over the game in the fourth quarter. Offensively, Tucker Kraft,
phenomenal,
looked like a beast
phenomenal.
out there,
I had him on fantasy. Phenomenal.
Tell us about the game, Calvin. What's your thoughts?
Tyler Kraft's no. But besides that, look, Tucker Kraft, yeah. But look, this is the game that you want to see this offense in Green Bay kind of step up and kind of take the lead. It felt like the game was in balance, but Jordan Love with the 20, I think it was 20 straight completions at a point. Now a couple of them were kind of like throw it up and my guy went and got it. But even still, just to have the wherewithal to kind of get the ball out there, the offense played great. Micah had a wonderful game. The 25 points is misleading because it really wasn't that close and all in all. But this is the type of game that Green Bay really needed come back off their bye, I believe, just to kind of reinsert their stuff, especially with Detroit playing so well. And this is what you were afraid of your Pittsburgh, playing against a superior opponent or opponent that's out of out, even a little bit better than you, and you kind of lay an egg. We didn't hear anything about that defense. We didn't hear anything about Patrick Queen or Jalen Ramsey or TJ Watt. None of those guys made an impact for Pittsburgh's defense, and the Packers offense were able to do whatever they wanted to do all night long.
Justin.
This game in the first half was entertaining. It was at least close a little bit. Green Bay showed their dominance. Young Aaron Rodgers, when it comes to Jordan Love, had a phenomenal game. So yeah, this defense, I don't know what it is. Like the Steelers, they beat up easy teams. The teams that's like marginally good or bad teams, they smash them. But when you got like certain superstars or high quality team, they struggle heavily. And it's starting to show its face. So it's starting to be a bit of a pattern here. So they need to definitely go ahead on and fix that. I don't know if they can or not. I don't think they have enough firepower to do so. So I think they definitely have issues. They are such a fluky team. If I'm anyone else in that division, quote unquote, what's on some people's shirts, you got to have your bullseye straight dead on them. Like I don't think they'd be able to hold the lead in that situation. So we'll see what happens when it comes to Pittsburgh for the rest of the season. But for this game on Sunday Night Football, yeah, Green Bay outlasted them and straight destroyed them, especially in the second half. So yeah, not too much after that.
Call it what it is, folks. If you watch this game, and I know I'm hard on Patrick Queen, I really am. But I'm hard on him for a reason. People have been blaming TJ Watt and different things of that nature. If you look at how many times TJ Watt was wrapped around a Jordan Love, Jordan Love was throwing the thing off his back foot. I mean, falling down, sidearm. And every time it was across the middle where Patrick Queen should have been. And guess who was there? Tucker Kraft. Or the other tight end. Like, Patrick Queen has no idea what to do in coverage. He doesn't know what to do. Like, so if I'm TJ Watt, I'm like, look, I'm getting there as quick as I can. All you gotta do is stick with your guy for 3 seconds. Give me 2.5. Like 2 at most. Like, bruh, all Love was go back and watch some of them heaves he was just throwing in the air between what's the safety? Michael Porter, not Michael Porter Jr. Somebody Jr. The cornerback.
Ike Taylor Jr.
Ike Taylor. Oh my Lord, barbecue chicken. Like he got hurt too, and the safety who used to play for us. The safety who used to play for us got hurt.
Deshaun Elliott, yeah.
Deshaun Elliott. So they made a trade with the Patriots to go get Kyle Duggar. I think on that play, that was probably some of the worst safety play I've ever seen.
Did they sign? Who signed Marcus Williams? Was it them?
It wasn't them.
Maybe it was the Chargers.
They traded for Kyle Duggar.
Okay.
No, that was probably some of the worst safety play. The pass rush got home. All Jordan Love was to heave the ball in the air. That was an interception just waiting to happen. This dummy goes running to his own guy. Kraft catches the ball and just glides down like it was nothing. Like, They just stupid. I'm sorry. It's normal, most exotic way I can put it. They just not that smart on defense. I no other way to put it. They are the highest paid defense in the league. The highest paid defense. They went out and traded Minka Fitzpatrick to go get Jalen Ramsey. They went and like plugged all these holes supposedly to make this run. And Aaron Rodgers supposed to just be the final little kiss on top. Oh, we need somebody not to turn the ball over. Good ball control. We're gonna run the ball. Well, you ain't got no running back. You ain't got no like what was the plan? What was the plan? I know I'm a Ravens fan. So you think I'm hating on the Steelers. I'm not hating. I'm just calling it what it is. Like y'all hard on the Ravens. Look at them Steelers. Trash. Trash. Next up. Final game we're going to talk about is the New England Patriots and the Cleveland Browns. And look, you say it's 32-13. Why are we talking about the Browns? We got to give some love to the Patriots. We have not talked about them all season pretty much. But give them credit. When you have a defensive end and Myles Garrett who records 5 sacks and you still win 32-13, that means like either you played a putrid quarterback on the other side, Dylan Gabriel, who Justin believes in, who says he's to be the starter, probably the best thing since Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, or that the Patriots offense is just that good. I don't know which one it is, but give the Patriots credit. They look like they for real. Calvin, your thoughts?
Why are we talking about Myles Garrett? We had this conversation. He took the money. He wanted to stay.
I agree.
I ain't got nothing. I'm not against you getting your money. Not against it at all. But you had the opportunity to leave. Now you're frustrated about what's going on in Cleveland. We can't have sympathy for you. Look, if you signed the money, you took the money and said you had the press conference, said you were happy there. You can't do that. And now in week 8, you're upset. Now you want to get out again. No. We were on your side like this offseason. Before you signed that deal, we were on your side. We said, look, go get traded, then get your money. You were going to be the highest paid defensive player regardless because you are Myles Garrett and you're that damn good. But you can't take money from Cleveland and get frustrated. So besides that, you had a great game. I'll give you kudos for that.
No. Look, you could be frustrated. You just can't expect us.
I'm sorry. You're right. You can be frustrated, but you can't ask out again. You can't do that. But on the other side, look, Drake May arguably playing the best of any of those second-year quarterbacks this year. That offense is rolling to a point. Now they had a problem with Myles Garrett, but a lot of teams had a problem with Myles Garrett, and they were still able to put up 32 points. And that defense is starting to come around slowly as well. They stifled that run game. I know Quinshon Jennings got hurt because I saw him leave early, but this Patriots team with Mike Vrabel, they may pose a problem to Buffalo. We haven't talked about Buffalo in a while, and I know they want a bye week. And they played his Chiefs this week, but hey, who's in first place in the AFC East? It ain't Buffalo right now.
Yeah, you're right. Justin, quickly.
Quickly is maybe he's pissed off because the wrong quarterback is playing. He said it. Tell me exactly why you're pissed. Tell me exactly. Tell me why you're pissed. He said that earlier. He said,
you want somebody to say something exactly how it is? If AJ Brown can write some subliminals and read books and, write.
Well, I mean, y'all you start with Jalen Hurts anyway, but we're going back to another topic. So
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Back. So I think that's what it is. I think he wants to see Shador get out there because what he has right now isn't doing anything. And yes, I did say I said bye to Shador once the first game that Dylan played or whatever, because he was cool. He was like, all right, he had some type of promise. Unfortunately, the league found out that he can't throw the ball over 15 yards accurately. So with that being said, he is not a great quarterback. And so if he can see over the center at times. So I think it's a lot to go against him. So but then you hear was talk that Shador's not even playing. He's not even gonna get a shot. Based off of what their coach is saying. So it sucks. So I think that's why I'm gonna say that's why he's frustrated more than anything else. Maybe he has someone that's like, we can actually win some of these games. But I don't care if Shador was playing. They wasn't beating that Patriots team. Patriots legit this year.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the last game we're going to talk about because it was, like I say, if you looked at that schedule, a lot of people went by, Atlanta. We could have talked about that. How you lose to Miami? Kirk Cousins. Look, buddy, I defend you a lot, but they didn't really give you a lot to work with in that game. You know what I mean?
They didn't give you a lot to work with.
They didn't like the game plan.
Drake didn't play.
Drake London didn't play.
They had Bijan, they had Algier, they had Pitts.
He had 35 yards rushing. Like they couldn't.
Well, you got to give him the ball more than 5 times in the first half.
They didn't respect the pass, so they just loaded up for the run.
That's not a good sign for Thursday night. Miami looked good against Atlanta. Other than that, nothing really jumped off
Jonathan
the page.
Taylor.
We'll talk about. I reserved that. Understood. We're going to talk about JT in a minute. But yeah, let's keep moving because we got a lot to get in tonight. So tonight is our mid-season award ceremony. We're going to talk about who we have given some mid-season superlatives to. I'm very excited about this. We're going to start tonight with MVP. I think that's the big one. You know what I mean? And if you've been paying attention to this show for the past several weeks, I've been saying, I know Calvin, you were on your little Dak train. Justin, you was on your Baker Mayfield train. And I said, watch out for that guy in Indianapolis. That guy might be the baddest man on the planet. And every week, 3 touchdowns, leading the league in rushing. I mean, what more can you ask for from a guy playing the position? Then go out there, perform at a high level, do everything possible to put your team in the position to have the best record in the whole National Football League, put the team on his back. For me, I'm kicking things off tonight. My MVP at the midseason mark. Look, it's a lot of good candidates, but it has to be Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts has been simply sensational, and for me, he's my MVP. Calvin, who's your MVP this early into the midway mark of the season?
You're not going to say Jalen Hurts. I thought you was going to ride with your guy. You know, he's the leader of that team.
Never told you that. But
besides that point, look, I think, sadly, I think this award has become a quarterback award. And I think if you're a non-quarterback, you have to have an exceptional year. You have to have with a down year by all quarterbacks. So, like, I see what you're saying with Jonathan Taylor. I see him progressing. I see him getting there. I'm right now, because it's kind of so up in the air, I think it will be separated with a quarterback that's won it previously. But right now, I'm going to give it to the rookie. I'm a second-year player. I'm going to give it to Drake May because of what he's done in the AFC East, because of them leading the AFC East. And I think he's been the quarterback that has led this team to the best record in the AFC, second best record in the AFC, but the best record in the AFC East. So after thinking about it, I think I'm gonna go with Drake May.
Justin, who you got?
Baker Mayfield. What we talking about here? Tampa Bay will be absolutely garbage right now if it wasn't for Baker Mayfield. He is the only one holding together a whole franchise by a string right now because of his play. We're not going to act like he wasn't performing well in the first half, the first part of the season. Every win we had up until a certain point was last-minute heroics by Baker Mayfield. We don't know who his receiver is going to be from 9 in and 9 out. We don't know who's going to be his running back from 9 in and 9 out. All we know is have one consistent person throughout this whole entire thing, and that's been Baker, my guy Mayfield, top 5/MVP Mayfield. That's what we're talking about, Baker Mayfield.
How can y'all not have Jonathan Taylor, who has the most touchdowns in the league, most rushing yards by far, not close, and has the best record, and has beaten all expectations, and coming back from a major injury he has been phenomenal.
Major injury 2 years ago.
Okay,
or more than 2 years ago. I don't know what it was.
Running backs don't always come back. Look, man.
Nick Chubb came back. He's okay.
Drake May is okay, but
let me ask you, we saw Jonathan Taylor have a similar season like this 2-3 years ago.
Not like this. He on pace.
Okay,
right behind LT.
Thank you, Justin. Okay. He had a similar season like this.
He dominated about 2-3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Pull the stats. Pull the stats at the midway mark. Go ahead. Pull it up. Look, you making some
midway mark?
We are at mid-season awards. Not what's the award going to be at the end of the year. We're talking about at the mid-season. Who is your MVP? Not who's it going to be at the end of the year. We're talking about right now. What we've seen thus far in this season. Who's the MVP?
Look, and
that's
we
all
said
I'm
our
asking.
piece. You the one that
No.
don't.
He said that
in
Jonathan Taylor
2021, so right now he got 850 yards. 2021, he had 1,800 yards, 18 touchdowns rushing.
Okay, what did
That's
he
the
have at the
season. That's the
midway
season I'm
mark?
talking about. That's the season I'm talking about. I'm just. You can say he had. And did they play 16 games back then? Or that was 17.
Can you not be great more than once?
No. I'm not saying that. My point was, can we give Daniel Jones a little more credit in regards to this team's record? That's all I'm saying. Because you're going on Jonathan Taylor like we haven't seen this before. We've seen this before. I'm just saying, can we give Daniel Jones a little bit of credit? And does that take away from Jonathan Taylor? But we can move on. We got plenty of awards to give. Let's move on.
That might
That's
be
your
the
guy.
dumbest argument you've
That's
ever
your
made.
guy.
Like, what does that have to do
That's
with
your
anything?
guy.
What does that have to do with anything? Like, what? Like, come on, man. Come on, man. Like, be fair. Like, that's all I say. Be fair. Next up.
Be realistic. Come on.
I am saying be realistic. I don't know what you're thinking about.
Come on.
Next up, who's your coach of the year? Let's start with you, Justin.
Coach of the year for me. Although I wanted to give it to the Colts guy, but I'm going to Mike Vrabel. He's been changing the culture. He's bringing winning culture back to the Patriots. I hate the way that they did man Mayo, but at the end of the day, they had their guy in line, and they were just waiting for him to become available. And once he became available, he took over that Patriots squad, and he's not looking back. He got Drake May looking like their second to best quarterback they ever had, which is Drew Bledsoe. So shout out to him. No, I'm not gonna do Tom Brady. I'm not gonna do that.
Calvin, who you got?
I got Dan Campbell. I think when you lose both coordinators, everyone expects you to start off slow. I expect them to start off slow, and they came out firing. And not only that, you can make the argument that this offense is even better than it was last year. The defense has started off a little bit firing, and they played a tough schedule. They played Tampa Bay. They played the Green Bay. They played Baltimore.
Oh, they undefeated?
They won. Is Mike Vrabel undefeated?
But you know what the Patriots had last year?
They lost the same amount of games.
Continue.
No, go ahead, Larry.
I like your pick. I picked Dan Campbell to be my coach of the year preseason. I think he's done a phenomenal job. I don't think that's a bad pick at all. Just not the right pick for this particular season, because for me, a coach of the year, I thought about Mike McDonald out there in Seattle. I think he's done a phenomenal job. But I think Mike Vrabel has done a great job of coaching that New England team. And he's my coach of the year thus far. I think he's just gotten a lot out of that team that I had no expectations for coming into it, especially in the division with Buffalo, to go and get that victory a couple weeks ago. And it looked like it's sustaining. The defense is getting better. And you got to that's a direct impact from what Mike Vrabel has bring to that organization. So that's my coach of the year through the first half of this season. Next up, let's keep this thing moving. Right, man. If y'all just understood all this shit I got going on over here, it's great. Let's keep it moving. Next up is defensive player of the year. Who would you say right now is your defensive player of the year? Calvin, we'll start with you this time.
I think we're going to have to go with the highest paid defensive player. I'm going to go with Myles Garrett, just based on what he did last week. That has to vault him up just sack-wise. He's carrying this defense once again. He's carrying this entire team on his shoulders. I did want to give a shout-out to Micah Parsons and also Brian Young out there in L.A., who I think they both had double-digit sacks. But I'm going to give it to Myles Garrett just of everything he's done seemingly solo for this Cleveland Browns team.
Justin, who you got?
I'm also going to go with Myles Garrett. I think that 5 sack was just like a y'all must have forgot type of a moment. To vaunt him up there. But I know Calvin gave his shout outs. I'm gonna shout out Brian Burns from the Giants. Because he also has double-digit sacks too. So and he's been balling. Shout out with him, Abdul Carter and them boys. Like the Giants line has been very but they put some respect back in the Giants. But at the end of the day, I think Myles Garrett's going to one, he caught up with him, and two, I think he's not going to look back. Shout out to Myles Garrett.
I got Aiden Hutchinson. I just think him coming back off that injury last year, a lot of people were giving Aaron Glenn, like, he went and got a job off of the back of whatever this defense was supposed to be. So a lot of people thought the Lions would take a step back this year. I know you shouted out Dan Campbell and the coaching job he's done, but look at what the job the defense has done in a lot of these bloodsoft games. They smoke people, and the defense has been shutting down some good teams. We saw it up and close and personal against in that Ravens game. He just impacts a lot of the plays, even when he doesn't get the sack. The pressure he puts on the opposing quarterback is just second to none. Right now, I give Aiden Hutchinson the nod in that area. Next up, let's keep this thing moving. We're going to go with Offensive Player of the Year. We already did MVP, which traditionally is, necessarily get both of them. But if you had to pick your Offensive Player of the Year thus far, for me, I'll start this one off because Jonathan Taylor is my MVP. Try not to give the person both awards, so I'll split it up. I'll go with the person playing the best wide receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba out there in Seattle. I think he's been sensational. Took the league by storm thus far, and he's putting up big numbers, really putting himself on the map as a top receiver in this league. He's my Offensive Player of the Year for the first half. Calvin, who's yours?
Yeah, my top two weren't JSN, but I'm giving it to Jonathan Taylor. Seemingly having, I don't want to say a bounce back year, but just seeming kind of reminding the league of who the best running back is. We talked about Saquon, we talked about Derrick Henry, even Josh Jacobs a lot last year, and Jonathan Taylor just kind of giving that, remember me, or I was that guy once, I'm still that guy. So I'm gonna give it to Jonathan Taylor.
Justin?
And now here comes, so we can't do two, right? So I can't put Baker here as well. If I can't do that, then I'm going with Jonathan Taylor, man. Yeah, all those reasons everyone's saying phenomenal first half of the season. Let's see if we can continue it for the second half. But stats is crazy right now.
All right. Defensive Rookie Player of the Year. I know this is sometimes can be an obscure award, and you really got to dig in deep. But I think there are a couple standouts here. Calvin, who you got?
I got Abdul Carter. I think
Really?
his presence on that defensive line, the rotation has unlocked Brian Burns, has given Thibodeau new life. He was once almost out the door in New York. So I think that they have the potential to be one of the better offensive lines, even this year with the rotation. And I think that's partly because of his presence in New York and on that defensive line. Now, they may not get the notoriety because, they're going to be they lost Malik Neighbors, they lost Cam Scatterboo on offense. So the season isn't going how they wanted to on offense. And they even still, I think they will have a presence defensively and be able to, get after quarterbacks regularly. So I'm gonna give some of that to Abdul Carter and have him defensive rookie of the year at the halfway point.
Justin, who you got?
I'm also going to go with Carter. I think because of what I mentioned before, he's brought in the defense back to the Giants along with him and Brian Burns. But Jahad Campbell was right there.
Yeah.
And I was definitely about to go with him, but I went with Adore. This is close. This is going to be one of, unlike some of these other things, especially like Offensive Player of the Year, I think that's going to be what it is throughout. I think this is one that's going to be flipped. I think he can catch. I think it's up for grabs. I'm going with him because of he's living up to being picked as early as he was. But this thing is fluid for this particular position, and I definitely think Campbell can catch him. But so far, so good for both guys. But I'll go with Carter.
Yeah, I could have just been a contrarian, but yeah, I think I'll go with Abdul too. Nobody really to me has had those splash numbers that you look for sometimes, but for consistency and some of the games that I saw from the Giants jumping off the page, he did make an impact on the game. Brian Burns, I give him a lot of that credit as well. So that's why it's sometimes a little difficult to separate the two, but he does do his part, and I'll give him credit. Next up, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'll start with this one. No, Justin, it's your turn. Who you got?
Well, thank you. Emeka Ibuka. Let's just call it what it is. That was a layup. I'll take advantage of that. All he did is just show out, prove that why he's the number one receiver coming out this class. Shout out to all the rookies, the running backs, the tight ends, the Warrens of the world, the Gentrys of the world. All you guys are pretty good players, but it's one that hit the ground running. And I'm going to give him his just due. And I'm gonna need him to pick it up a little bit, but so far so good for me. It's Ibuka for sure.
Calvin, who you got?
Yeah, I agree. It's Ibuka. It's not even that difficult of a decision. Jackson Dart could have made it interesting depending on how that offense went, but he's down as a starting running back. He's down a receiver, so it kind of be hard for him to catch up. Quinshon Jenkins was going to make it interesting in Cleveland, and he got hurt as well. Ashton Genty doesn't have a quarterback out there in Vegas, so it's easily Ibuka. So it's not even an argument.
Clean sweep. I think we all had him here. He got the best numbers. He's playing the best, and he deserves it. You know what I mean? Congratulations to him. All right, and finally, comeback player of the year thus far through, 8 weeks? Who you have? Oh, it's my turn. For me, and we always talk about what constitutes a comeback player of the year. What can get you that? Like, to me, I look at where you necessarily didn't have to be injured, but did you play like trash, or were you like cast away and now you're coming back for a great year? To me, and this might be a little different because I'm going with Daniel Jones. It is what it is. He's playing at a high level. He was cast away, thrown to the wolves. I could go Christian McCaffrey. I think he's played well. Dak, you could make an argument for Dak, but I don't think they won enough games to put him over the edge of a Daniel Jones, Aiden Hutchinson, who I have my defensive player of the year. Those are some of the guys I had. But Calvin, who'd you have for your comeback player of the year?
I'm not even going to go down to Daniel Jones bandwagon because it could start the whole argument. I got Christian McCaffrey. Basically, last year he had arthritis in both knees and ankles, and now he's coming back playing like the MVP candidate he was in 2023. And he's leading this offense who's had Matt Jones quarterbacking for the majority of the season. Number of injuries on defense. Starting receivers been out all year, yet I think they're 5-2. I give it to Christian McCaffrey.
I think they lost the other day. It could be wrong.
Well, the 49ers, they lost.
Yeah. But anyway, Justin, who you got?
Shame on you for putting Christian McCaffrey in this particular category. It's Daniel. It's Indiana Jones, for sure. This we might as well just go ahead on and change this to when you suck and then you come back and dominate. He was awful. He was god awful.
He learned how to play quarterback 6 years in.
He was about to be a permanent backup. He saved his career.
He won
a playoff game. Let's not act like he didn't. Ooh,
this is
Daniel Jones.
When?
In New York.
I need to check that.
Go back and look it up. Go ahead, Justin. Finish your point.
But no, yeah.
From
Sam Darnold to him, that's just what it is now. When you're about to be a castaway and you revitalize your career, Gino might even spark this type of thing. That's just what it is. He came back to relevance. How about that? He was on his way of being out the lead to maintaining his starting spot.
Last win was January 15th, 2023, when they defeated the Minnesota Vikings in NFC wildcard game. There you go.
So he beat Kirk Cousins.
Hey, he won a game. That was the point.
Against Kirk Cousins. All right.
Any route. So those are our midseason awards. Calvin's always a hater. You know what I mean? Look, man. Nothing changes around here.
When you come back from the bench, that doesn't say a lot. It just says you got better players around you or better coaching or both. But no.
You're a hater. But as the year continues, we'll get into some more of these other things. The thing Pro Bowl will be coming up in a couple weeks, and all this will actually work itself out. But let's look at these updated standings right now, where we sit at the midway point. The Patriots sitting at 6-2, and Buffalo is 5-2, top of the AFC East. So that's a dog fight. We talked about the North and how the Ravens, technically, if you're looking at a lot of the betting sites, the Ravens are the betting favorites to win the North. That's ridiculous. The AFC South, you have the Colts at 7-1. The next best team is Jacksonville at 4-3. But Houston seems like they're coming on a little bit here lately. So we'll see if they're able to get their stride. The AFC West is probably still one of the most competitive divisions when you got Denver 6-2, Chargers 5-3, and Kansas City 5-3. But Kansas City has lost to both Denver and the Chargers already. But it looks like Kansas City is really charging, and they look like they're ready for a good run here, getting all their full strength back. So the AFC, to me, is still not fully decided. Wide open in many ways. Justin, what's your thoughts on the AFC?
What we saying? 7, right? 7 can advance.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good. I think it's definitely a race for some teams. I think the AFC North is up for grabs. It shouldn't have been. When you have a team, I mean, I'm not piling on, but when you start off 1-5, you're supposed to clearly separate yourself. And Pittsburgh has not been able to do that. I'm gonna repeat that later on moving forward when it comes to some other divisions. But Indiana put enough gap, I think. When it comes to that, I don't think Houston or Jacksonville is going to catch them. And Denver did not put a that much separation between them and Kansas City, although they beat them. I think Kansas City is looking right past them. They got a couple. Kansas City's schedule is very, very difficult, but I think finally when they have all their weapons and they are getting back to the old Kansas City that we used to know, MVP type of performance when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, I think they can catch that. I think they can catch the division, but that particular division is going to have at least 2 to 3 teams. That's going to be the division that has 2, maybe 3 teams representing them.
All right, the NFC East, 6-2 Philly is dominating that division. Doesn't look like anybody's close. The North, you have the Packers sitting at 5-1-1 with that tie they had earlier this year. Detroit 5-2. Chicago is still in the running. I mean, all teams technically still have a chance with everybody having at least 3 wins is pretty good. Better than what you could say for some divisions. Then you had the South, 6-2 is like a stranglehold for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then that West is kind of like always up in the air. But Seattle, the Rams, and San Francisco all sitting there with 5 victories, having gone through a bye. It looked like some of these teams right there on the peak, man. So while the NFC looks a little top heavy in many ways, I think the road to get there is going to be a little bit more of a struggle. Calvin, your thoughts on the NFC?
Look, I think all the wildcard teams come from the NFC West and NFC North. That means teams like Washington, who made the playoffs last year, could potentially miss the playoffs. Look, they're struggling. They just had a down season through the first half, but no one expected 3 teams to have 5 wins at the halfway point in the NFC West, led by Seattle at this point. San Francisco had a ton of injuries, and they still continue to play well. The Seattle's quarterback, I'm blanking on his name right now, Sam Darnold, has continued to play well. And you had, JSN, who is now your number 1 receiver in Seattle, play like a true number 1. Like, you really see the maturation of his play. Arguably the best receiver thus far this year. Look, I just think it's going to be tough if you're not in the NFC North or NFC West to get a playoff spot. That's Washington. That's Dallas. That's Atlanta, who you could have all been in the mix. But at this point, Green Bay, Detroit, Seattle, the Rams, San Francisco all look like they're playoff bound.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Like I say, if the playoffs were to start today, the Colts and the Packers would be number 1 seeds. And just rounding out, the Kansas City Chiefs will be the 7th seed, and the San Francisco 49ers will be the 7th seed in the West. So, NFC, excuse me. I just think it's still so early. A lot of this is going to be jumbled up. It's going to change. But if you look at where our predictions were at the beginning of the year, of course, we got to pull that up. Man, some of them spot on, and some of them are way off. Now, I'm not as proud. You ain't looking terrible. You are not looking terrible. Calvin, if you had to go through your list, and let's remind people your final list as well. If you had to go through your list and make a change, make a substitution of sort, I give you 1 from the AFC, 1 from the NFC.
We're talking about just the seeding or just in general, or just playoff teams?
Playoff teams.
Okay.
This is our 1 mulligan. 1 for the AFC, one for the NFC, and then this is set for the rest of the year. If you had to go through, who would be your choice? Tell us.
I think we can easily, for the AFC, all say Houston. We all had to win the division. I think that's the easy choice. I think Baltimore still wins the division. I think Buffalo gets in. If I'm gonna take one out, I'm gonna take out Cincinnati. I'm gonna take out Cincinnati.
And who you putting in their place?
I'm going to put in New England.
So New England has the staying power. Okay, and what about the NFC?
In the NFC, I'm taking out Atlanta. I think they're done. They're too up and down. And I'm probably putting in Seattle.
Okay.
Especially for the wild card.
I like that. All right. Justin, same question. If you had to get one
get rid of the Bengals and put in the Colts. I don't know why he ain't say the Colts. That's crazy.
Because I'm not gonna. I mean, I could have took out Houston and put the Colts. That was easy. I think that's an easy answer. But I ain't trying to be.
You don't think the Colts gonna make the playoffs?
You think Pittsburgh and Cincinnati gonna make the playoffs?
I'm taking out the Cincinnati.
So you think Houston gonna make the playoffs?
I gotta take out one team.
Okay, my point exactly. I had to take out one team.
They got so much of a. Okay, you're right. Whatever you got.
So
that.
Calvin, you took out Cincinnati, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. And who's your NFC? Just.
Let's go Falcons for Seattle.
Okay, that's a good pick. All right, me is a little tough for shit.
We all had two. We all had
two bad ones.
So it's like I'll take out Houston, but Indy. That's too easy in my opinion.
Houston can still make the playoffs.
See, I had three.
They got to win the division.
I had three bad ones in the AFC.
Houston
still can make it.
I mean, Houston can. Oh, you got the Miami.
I got Cincinnati and Miami.
We all had Cincinnati though, so it's like
so it evens itself out. So I'll take out Miami and put the Colts. I think the Colts are a great pick. You know what I mean? And then
so none of y'all think New England gonna make the playoffs?
No, it don't. It's not like that. No. It's saying you have to go with the percentages at this point because you can only move one team from the division, from the conference.
And like
it's crazy because all of my NFC have a better shot. Are still like they all viable. I think Washington looking like they're not great to make it, but Minnesota probably won't because they ain't got no quarterback. So I'm going with Seattle.
So you said all of them look good. I'm like,
no. I'm saying they got a chance. It's not like they completely out of it.
They got the same chance in Atlanta.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Who would you put in?
I'm about to show it now. All right, so new ones are New England. For Calvin, I put you put Seattle in. I put the Colts in Seattle, and Justin, you put in the Colts and Seattle.
He took out Cincinnati.
I took out Cincinnati for mine.
Yeah.
Keep Houston in there.
I
left Houston in.
We all kept Houston. We all kept Houston, which
I was on a different screen. Yeah,
we all kept Houston, which is okay.
It happens, man.
You ain't nobody tripping. You fine. You good. Shout out to the Patriots, man. You a Patriots fan. That's what it is. You a Drake May fan.
Leading the division. I mean, so is Indianapolis, so we can't say they can't fall off.
All right, so
Indianapolis is not gonna fall off. In that
you got them being number one. So they're gonna be number one seed. That's what you're saying.
Y'all want to reseed?
Falling off? No.
We can do that
not
next
right now.
We'll do...
some thought process behind that.
Yeah. Anyway, so it'll be interesting. So this is about changes. We all got a mulligan, and we keep it moving. All right, let's. We got a lot more to cover tonight. So let's get into our picks of the week. So each week we go through some of the most the big games for the week. If you notice, I've been showing the league leaders at the bottom of the screen. So very interesting. looking at the top passes and stuff like that, Justin Herbert leading the league in passing. Patrick Mahomes climbed up right there. He's also had a lot of attempts as well because they don't run the ball well.
Because they don't run the ball.
Yeah. So, but let's look at these games this week because last week's standings. Calvin, you finished with 6 wins. I finished with 7, and Justin, I don't know.
That's what happens when you take the damn Cowboys. But damn, Justin, you still bring up the rear? It's this all right.
Oh, I think I left.
I got a question. I'll get ready to say how you. Okay, I was going to say how you got 5, but it's only 4 of them up there.
Because I think you took the Patriots. No,
who did Houston play?
Houston.
Was that?
No, he took the opposite. Because
I don't know.
We both took. I
gotta talk.
We
to
both
Trump.
took the Texans.
I might recount that.
Nah, bro. You only had 5. If anything, I'm giving you more.
Oh, they play San Francisco. They play San Francisco, so you did pick them, yeah.
I probably did pick Phil.
So our season tally, I edged the one ahead of you, buddy, because you went out on a limb with your Cowboys. So 21-20, and Justin, you got some work to do.
All it takes is 1 week, baby.
Got that one number in front. I ain't seen that in like a week, but all right.
Anyway, first game, Ravens, Dolphins, this Thursday night. Justin, since you're not a Ravens fan, I know where Calvin's going. Who you got?
I got the Ravens.
Okay. Calvin?
Ravens.
Any analysis?
Looking to see his offense back healthy whole.
They have Lamar. The Ravens have Lamar Jackson.
And
you said I like that.
And just seeing how this run game gets unlocked truly. So
because I picked them, that's why.
Well, your team won a bye, so you can't say we this week. So I gotta see how to sneak that one in.
Hey, all I'll say is y'all gotta handle your business, man. I don't care. You going on the road after this team just beat the hell out of the Falcons. They stopped the running game. Be ready for those run blitzes. Come in prepared, get the job done. Next up, Chicago travels to Cincinnati, take on the Bengals. We don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation in Indianapolis. On his head, you got Chicago. Both teams coming off a loss, crushing, heartbreaking loss by the Bengals. Calvin, who you got?
I got Chicago. I don't know Joe Flacco's status, and I've seen what the backup does. And we know this Bengals defense will give up points. So if they can't score and keep up with Joe Flacco, then I think Chicago wins this game easily.
Justin, who you got?
This is a toss-up, so I gotta go the opposite direction. Let's go Bengals. And everything that you just said, Calvin, I'm hoping that Flacco plays. That's it. There we go. Flacco plays, they win.
You know, Bronner ain't bad. We saw him play. Like, he's not terrible. He can get the ball there. He's no Flacco, but I'm going with
the reason when he got Flacco.
He's trash, though.
I'm going with the Bears. Yeah. All right, next up, the Minnesota Vikings, J.J. McCarthy. Travel to Detroit, take on the Lions. I'm going with Detroit at home. They continue rolling. Best team in the NFC North, no doubt. Calvin, who you got?
Detroit, after the bye, they get healthy on defense. They're at home. The offense is rolling. The running game is rolling. Don't say anything that can stop them, at least in this game.
Just
upset special. Not for this game, though. Detroit Lions.
Next up, Denver, Houston. We talked about Houston been on a roll here lately, doing that thing. Look, CJ Stroud made some comments last week talking about people been sleeping on me. They haven't really given me no credit, talking about, the weapons have been changed since my rookie year. So, of course, things have been different. Head coaches, offensive coordinators, all kind of changes, receivers getting hurt. Houston has been coming on. Give that defensive line credit. Man, Will Anderson Jr., phenomenal, man. Defensive Player of the Year candidate. I'm going with the Texans at home. I'm going with the Texans. I think they on a roll. I think they can get this job done. Denver has just been too up and down. I think it can be fool's gold when you beat up on the Cowboys defense. And you think you're going to do the same thing? You think you're going to run the ball like that against Houston? I don't think so. Justin, who you got?
I think they will. And let's go with the Denver Broncos. It's more so what they're going to do with Denver's defense. they're running sky high. Ever since that comeback victory that they had 2 weeks ago, and then they come at and dominate the Cowboys. They feeling themselves right now. So we'll see what's going on. We'll see what the Houston can do. But we're going with the Denver.
Who you got, Calvin?
It's a battle of two of the better defenses in the league, but I just trust that Broncos offense a little bit more. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but I got Denver.
All right. I look like I'm gonna pull away again. All right. Atlanta travels to New England to take on the Falcons. Atlanta had that terrible loss last week, and New England's riding high. Stephon Diggs is on injury report this week. He's been like a very big spark for them.
He's been nicked up most of the season.
Yeah. But Butte has been pretty good for them, for New England. So we'll see if they're able to replicate what they've been doing against that Atlanta team. They can get off the schneid. Haven't heard about the quarterback situation in Atlanta either. Calvin, who you got?
Got New England. They're at home. Like you said, I haven't heard about the quarterback situation yet. We'll probably hear more about that tomorrow. But if it's Kirk Cousins starting, I really don't like it. Michael Penix Jr. has been up and down, but I'm going to go New England.
Justin?
I'm also going to go with New England until proven otherwise. I don't care who the quarterback is for the Falcons. They just don't got their mojo together. And unfortunately, my man Raheem is on the hot seat, their head coach. It might not be public NFL news, but in the division we know he's on a hot seat.
Okay. All right. I'm going with the New England Patriots. Yeah, I'm not going against the grain. It is what it is. Next up, Indianapolis Colts travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Justin, who you
Here we go. Time for things to change. I hope y'all go for the Colts because I'm going for the Steelers. Yes, sir. They're going to exercise some demons. Jonathan Taylor will get quieted some. And Pittsburgh Steelers is going to win this one.
You know, I really like this Colts team, man.
That's your team, man.
Good stories about Shane Steichen. The owner, the lady who be with the headset down on the sideline.
She about to be Jerry Jones in 2 years.
No.
Don't do that. She'll be Jerry Jones in 2 years. Just wait.
Apparently, she been doing this for years. Like they said, she started doing this in like the pandemic, and she wasn't the owner of the team then. Her father was, so she just always been tapped in. Like on some Jeannie Buss type level, you know what I mean? So I give her credit. She said in the press conference, I want to know what's going on. And I want to know when it's time to hire and fire and giving people millions of dollars, whether you bullcrapping me or not. I appreciate it.
Like Jerry Jones.
I go with the coach. She hired a good coach. She got a good scheme going on. And Jonathan Taylor going to run all over that sorry Pittsburgh defense. I can't wait. This is probably going to be my game of the week. I can't wait for this one. Who you got, Calvin?
I got the Steelers.
Comment on this man's glasses.
I got the Steelers. You threw off my whole train. I got the Steelers. I think this is one of the tougher matchups in Indianapolis' schedule. The first two they won by a point. They won one by a point. They lost one by a couple points. It's on the road. If it was in Indianapolis, I probably would have picked Indianapolis. Pittsburgh's coming off a tough week, a tough loss on national television. I think they can put up points on this Colts defense, which I think has had good games, but hasn't had a good season. So I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh.
You're a hater. That's the problem. That is the problem with
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh
today. You got haters like this who can't admit good thing when they see it. That's the problem. That's pathetic. Kansas City Chiefs travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills. This is a battle of the teams that basically have decided who goes to the Super Bowl from the AFC. Best two quarterbacks statistically in many people's minds this year. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are this standoff of some sort, when really the numbers tell you they're not. Daniel Jones is actually better than both of them. But who you got, Justin?
I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that last comment that you just made. When it comes to this matchup, Patrick Mahomes will show you why he's the best quarterback in the league, other than Baker Mayfield. Let's go with Kansas City by far.
Calvin, I love this one. Here we go. This is where I pull away.
I think by the end of the season, we'll see Patrick Mahomes as one of the candidates for MVP. I'm going Kansas City. That offense is rolling right now. I don't see how Buffalo's defense can really slow down this Kansas City offense. It'll be a high-scoring game. I got Kansas City.
Here we go. I got the Chiefs too. I just think they're better on both sides of the ball. Buffalo is missing something defensively. I think maybe just injuries. I love James Cook last week. He was all over, like running everywhere. So if they can run the ball like that against that Chiefs team, 100%, they in the money. But I just don't see it happening. It's going to be tough sledding up there in Buffalo. They're at home. I mean, things can happen at home.
They need to go get a receiver.
You know what? I got a little cushion. I'm going with Buffalo, man. I'm going with Buffalo. I think Josh Allen going to put this team on his – no, I'm going to Chiefs. Next up, the Seattle Seahawks travel to Washington to take on the Commanders. I'll leave this off this time. I just love the job that Mike McDonald is doing with the Seattle team. The injuries to Washington, just too much to overcome at this point. I'm going with the Seahawks. Justin?
Terry McLaurin is going to be out yet again after he just came back. And, Debo, I still remember that drop pass he did when they was in scoring range in the last game.
Yeah, that was bad.
Jesus.
Is JD5 playing?
JD5 probably will not play. It's still up in the air right now. But I'm going with Seattle. Washington got it this year.
You know how I feel about West Coast teams coming east. You know how I've always preached those statistics and those numbers.
And you're going with Seattle.
Yeah, but they play at 8 o'clock, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going Seattle.
No doubt. The Arizona Cardinals, final game of the week, travel to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Now, every time these two teams play, it seems like the Cardinals just run the Cowboys out the stadium. Kyler Murray's going to be back for this game, and I see no reason not to pick the Cardinals to win this game on the road in Dallas, but I'm not. I'm picking the Cowboys. I just think bouncing back from last week, I think they have to come out there and have some personal pride. You have to have some personal pride. Offensively, CeeDee Lamb, I need more from you. George Pickens, you've been holding up your
like it's
tight end.
Fantasy wise.
Look. I need some numbers, damn it. We're getting down the stretch here. I'm in a dogfight at the top of this fantasy league. I need CeeDee Lamb to get the ball. Dak, you my quarterback in one of my leagues. Perform better every week. Jake Ferguson, you're pathetic if you can't get one catch in a game. You better run the Cardinals out the stadium. I'm going with the Cowboys at home. Justin, who you
got? I want to say the Cardinals, but I'm going with Dallas. I don't have anything other than the fact that it's Dallas. I think they can run the ball effectively, and I don't think that the Cardinals defense can provide enough pressure to make Dak look like a regular guy, just like Denver did. So if Dak is sitting in a clean pocket, he's going to tear the Cardinals up. So let's go with the Cowboys.
As you said, Larry, the Cardinals always give the Cowboys problems, but that is in Arizona. This game is in Dallas. I see this being a high-scoring game. McBride touchdown, CeeDee Lamb touchdown, Pickens touchdown. I got Dallas.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. It was like if it was in Arizona, it would be a different story. But so other games that might be a little bit enticing, but I didn't think worthy of much note. I really ain't. What is going on out there in Vegas, man? Just Pete Carroll has done nothing with that team. Ashton Gentry started off a little warm, and then it just also Cam Ward, buddy. We're talking about Dylan Gabriel. Look at his numbers, brother. I get you a rookie. Growing pains is a thing. I need to see a little bit more. Any other games? Any other thoughts on a week overall? Justin, I'll start with you.
Besides what we touched on, no other game kind of stands out. I don't care about Green Bay, Carolina, San Fran Giants. So no, not really.
Calvin, same.
I mean the Chargers Titans game. I think it's interesting because we're talking about with the AFC and NFC. Kansas City has lost to both the Chargers and Detroit. So I'm sorry, and Denver. So it's they have to win games in the division when it comes that time. But if if Denver and the Chargers continue to stack wins, it becomes harder for Kansas City to win the division. So
That was the worst.
Titans want to do anything?
No.
Right.
No.
What are we talking about?
I had a point about the Chargers in
Your
Denver,
point
and I didn't bring it in.
Anyway,
I came full circle.
You should say that for next week.
To bring it in.
Like that was trash.
I came full circle.
Hey, you got your drink over there? What's going on?
I came full circle to get my point.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I know you ain't gotta go to work tomorrow, but bro, I
came full circle to get my point.
Anyway, we got the Browns, Eagles, Tampa, the Jets all on a bye this week. So let's see if they're able to bounce back next week and show us for this home stretch. So it's gonna be very interesting. Keeping an eye. Let's take a quick glance at faith. We're doing good on time. We got 10 minutes left. A look at fantasy. Look, things happen. Can't win them all. But I was able. No, I won.
I thought you won.
I did win. Calvin, you won. Yeah. What happened, Justin?
You're on mute.
You're muted. You probably was saying a lot of good stuff. Too.
It was a bunch of bulls. Yes.
I got nothing. I said
doing that.
Things happen. Yeah, next week is a new week, so we'll see what's going on, what's happening. I definitely think I'm gonna win this upcoming week. So it is what it is.
So Leonard and Mike are still tied at the top. I'm right there behind them at 6-2. That stupid tie, man. I hate ties. And Calvin right there behind me. 5-3. Kai climbed his way out of the gutter, out the basement.
Kai was looking like he was down. He was struggling for a minute.
So anything is possible. Justin, two-game losing streak, man. You was doing good for a while there, bro. I had confidence in you.
Oh, I play you. That's why you made that comment. I play you this week. I got you.
You sure did.
That's why you made that comment.
Hey, I pulled out a miracle against Justin last week.
When we come back next week, that losing streak gonna be 3. Just book it right now.
All right, real quick before we get out of here, this weekend, Saturday night main event, you have multiple matches, CM Punk and Jey Uso for the undisputed World Heavyweight Championship that is held up right now due to the injury to Seth Rollins. That's going to be, I think that's the main event pretty much. You also have Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, a rematch on Saturday night's main event for the WWE title. You have Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill after Jade turned heel on her last week. So I think this pretty much is shaping up for Jade to finally step into that heel character that she played so well in AEW, bringing that to the WWE stage. I think she should be crowned a new champion. And then you got Dominic Mysterio defending the title against Penta and Rusev in a triple threat. Should be interesting show overall. Calvin, anything you're looking forward to this Saturday night?
Has it been confirmed that Seth's going to be out 7-8 months? I've heard a rumor.
Should be back around WrestleMania.
Okay. I have a John Cena statement, but I'll say that to the end. I'm really interested in seeing the CM Punk Jey Uso match. I'm wondering what's next, because I know we'll give our predictions. I think CM Punk wins. I think Jimmy costs Jey Uso. I think that's going to be the route that they go. But I'm looking forward to this matchup because it can be so many different turns. You could have Jay win and turn on Jimmy. I'm interested to see how this goes, especially with no Seth. Do you give Jay his second title run so quickly? Do you think he's earned that again? But I think this is my matchup for them. This is the best matchup. This is the match I want to see for the night. But I think CM Punk's going to win it. Justin,
anything you looking forward to most from this show?
Take yourself off me first.
One, I already did that. 2, I expect the Bronze to create just havoc for Saturday night's main event. I think this is their way of saying, how dare you not put me in certain matches and so on and so forth. Paul Heyman, I try to do it your way, but I just can't F this and all this other stuff. So I just think it's their, I guess, a revamp of whoever they are. I don't even know if they still call it a vision really 100%. If Seth is not there, then I think they should change their name on top of it. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't have this ending clean, and we're just going to be without a champion for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I got a feeling this might not be the main event, and that will give the tell that we're not getting a clean finish. If that match opens the show, or you know what I mean, then it will get a DQ, and you probably close the show with Cody and Drew, or something like that, giving a conclusive winner at the end. But I also am interested to see what's going to happen with Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. That first match was a little sloppy here and there, but I think if they work this right and Jade is a full heel, I think she should be able to get crowned the new champion in a dominant fashion. So it's going to be interesting. Dominic Mysterio, he gets over with the crowd. I think Penta might pull this one out, but I don't think they take that title off Dom before he faces Cena. I think they facing each other Saturday main event, or
I thought it was going to be at
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll keep it out. One more thing before we get out of here. The Dodgers and the Toronto Blue Jays have been going at it in the World Series. Did y'all see that long game the other night? Good God, I reckon.
I had bet that game. I think I bet the over under.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was like 8.5 or something. So fell asleep, woke up. Son has asthma, so he sometimes needs nebulized at night. So I woke up and gave it to him. I had him to look and see if the game, what was the result. It was still on. And I'm sitting up there like, yo, it's 2 a.m. and ended up watching the game. But that was crazy. But I still got the Dodgers winning, but that was a crazy game.
What's the score tonight? I know it was like 2-0 when I was looking earlier. The Blue Jays.
It was 2-0 who?
Blue Jays.
Oh,
I'll
check real quick. It's 6-1.
Justin, who? Blue Jays?
Dodgers, 6-1 Blue Jays, yeah. About to be over. Begin top of the ninth.
Yeah, they about to take a 3-1.
3-2.
3-2.
Yeah, it was tied 2-2.
How they play?
It's every day.
It's 2-3-2.
I don't know. I didn't know they did that in baseball. Do they do that in baseball?
Yeah, they play Friday and Saturday, so I'm assuming they're not going to play Friday in Toronto and Saturday in LA. So,
Justin, any thoughts on the World Series?
Besides the fact, I hope the Dodgers lose. Only because I think the best player in the world should just lose in the World Series. Barry Bonds lost in the World Series. I don't want Shohei Ohtani to have anything.
So you want him to have some chink in his armor this year because
he did win last year, didn't he?
Yeah, they won. Freddie Freeman was the MVP though.
Yeah,
that's true. I don't want to win twice. Then how about that?
Yo, he's phenomenal, though, man. He's phenomenal.
You call me a hater? That's a hater statement right there. I don't want him to win just because he's the best.
Yeah.
He's not even out.
It should be reserved for American players.
On that note, the views of Justin Harris does not represent everything. Get up the damn fence. We apologize. We offended anybody tonight.
Shohei Ohtani, Barry Bonds, everybody else.
Tom Aspinall, shout out to you. You took 2 fingers straight to the eye, man. That was brutal, man. That was brutal, man. He didn't quit. He could have continued, man. He didn't quit. People called him a quitter. They called him a punk. You called it like what you say, the finger poker dude. Yo, he took 2. Yo, it was all the way to the knuckle. It was bad, man.
Went all the way to the knuckle.
You can't do that, man. They need to outlaw them open gloves, man. I'm telling you, we've been saying it for years, man. That guy's fingers went all the way down to the white meat. You can't do that. He couldn't continue, and people call him, "Oh, he quit." I'm like, did y'all see how deep that man's fingers went into your eye? Like, you can't mess with a man.
He fighting in June in the White House. Yeah,
I don't think it's going to take him that long to recover from no eye poke.
No,
he was recovered 5 minutes after he got poked.
Oh,
that is true.
Man, he was pissed. He's like, "Y'all booing me?" He like,
still got my belt.
I'm the best I can.
Well, him and
but he was getting work though.
Him and Dana beefing over some of his statements.
I didn't hear that.
Like he said, I think his father said like he only got 2 more fights left. He should retire after that, and something about making more money and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. That was happening before. That's why a lot of people thought he tapped out. Like it was kind of used as a leverage ploy.
I thought it was after. Okay.
No, this was before. Yeah. So I think it should start trickling out. Anyway, that's all our show for tonight, man. We did good. It's almost 11 o'clock on the dot, and we almost up out of here.
Y'all looking forward to Mayweather Pacquiao 2 next year?
No. I didn't like the first one. And that was 10 years ago. Like, come on, dog. Like, for real, man. Like, stop. Just stop. At some point, we got to stop giving these people money. You know what I mean? Even though they fighting for free on Netflix these days. But, you know what I mean? It's just trash. Stop it. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, fellas?
Montez Ford deserves a push.
He must be eating dinner.
That's all I got.
You said Montez.
What'd you say, Kevin?
Montez Ford deserves a push.
Deserves a push. He do. A single star.
We got to wait till Bianca come back because they're real heavy on couples right now. So once Bianca gets healthy,
no, when she comes back, he will be reserved to Bianca's husband. Like, I'm not.
That's the longest finger injury in the history of wrestling. I've never seen anybody out that long from that damn finger. Like, it got to be more to it. I think they waiting for Jade to get over as a heel, and then that be the big matchup, Bianca and Jade.
It's rapidly approaching.
Yeah, so they ain't want to undercut her. So we'll see. Anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight, folks. We got a lot done, and we appreciate you. We'll be back with our regular format, dive into a little bit more NBA next week. We check out our Midseason Awards, share this live, let people know, if they want to know what's really going on in the NFL, tune into this show each and every week. Also, NBA coverage is going to ramp up. This past Monday was probably one of the craziest days of sports. You had a full slate of NBA games, Monday Night Football game,
Equinox,
World Series. Yeah, that's what it's called. It was ridiculous. But the whole weekend, UFC, college football, baseball, just everything, man. This is the best time of the year if you're a sports fan, and we here to cover it for you each and every week when we get off the damn fence. For Calvin, Justin, I'm Larry. We'll see you next week for another edition. Get off the damn fence. Have a good night.